Hi, in our previous tutorial we have seen what are CSS selectors and also we have seen two categories inside that. Okay, that is nothing but simple selector and combinator selector. Inside combinator selector we have seen four more selectors, that is descendant selector, child selector, adjacent sibling selector and general sibling selector. Okay, now we are going to see pseudo class selectors. Okay, now let me just write the comment here, and also we have seen about comments also. Now here I am just going to write here pseudo class selector. Okay, this is the third category of selector, and inside that we are having some more selectors. Now let me just write the first one, and inside this first I am just going to write here anchor pseudo class. Let me just write like this, anchor pseudo class. Whenever we are using this pseudo class selector, it is going to define specific state of that element. Okay, we can use that one to style the element whenever we whenever we hover on that particular element, whatever styles we want to give. When we click on that element, what styles we want to give, or whenever we focus on that one, what styles we want to give. Okay, we can give all those stuff inside this pseudo class selectors. Now inside this anchor pseudo class we are going to understand that one. Now before that, let me just write the syntax here. Now here inside this, first we will be having the selector. Okay, whatever selector I want to select, I can just write that one. After that I will be writing this colon, and here I am just going to write here pseudo class. Let me just write that one, pseudo class, and inside this curly braces I will be having property and value. Property colon value, then I just have to separate by semicolon. I'll just write that one. Okay, now let me just comment this entire thing. Okay, this is the syntax. Whenever we are using pseudo class selector, we will be writing the selector, and then I'll be writing this colon. I will be telling you what are the pseudo classes present. Then inside curly braces we will be writing property colon value. Okay, now first let us understand anchor pseudo class. Okay, anchor we have to use, so we have inside HTML we have to define one anchor tag. Now below this paragraph I'll be writing anchor tag, and inside href let me just write here index.html itself, and here inside this I'll be writing here click me, and also I'm going to give here target attribute. Whenever I click on this I should be opening the new tab, so here I'll be writing here blank. I'll save this, and here let me just come here, I'll refresh this one. Okay, now here I am having click me. Whenever I click on this, the new tab will be opened, and inside that whatever stylings I am having here, the same will be applied to me here. Okay, now it is working. Now I just have to style that one. Now if you notice here, whenever I hover on this, no color is being changed. When I click on this, you can see the click me is getting changed to red color. Now let me just increase the size and show you. Okay, now you can see here I am having this click me in dark purple color. Now whenever I hover, I don't have any styling. When I click on this, you can see it is changed to red. Let me just click on this. Okay, here I have clicked on that. Now here I am having this purple black. Okay, it is not going to give me any hint that whether I visited this link or not. So for that we will be using anchor pseudo classes. Now inside this, first I am just going to write here link. Okay, first we are having this dot link. This is nothing but pseudo class for anchor tags, and inside this let me just give the color. Let me just write here yellow. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Whenever I click on this, you can see here inside this page I am having this click me. Again let me just come back. Let me just close this one. Again when I click on this, you can see here it is being changed to yellow color. Okay, for link we are going to give this color. Okay, whenever we are giving link, we are going to give this color. Whenever I click on that, it is just going to change that one. Now here for this we are having, now here I am just going to write here another pseudo class, that is nothing but visited. Visited, and inside this I am just going to give the color. I will be writing here red. On red it is already there. Let me just write here pink. I'll save this, and also I am just going to give another class here, another anchor tag, and here I'll be writing click here. I'll save this. Now for this anchor tag, let me just give one class here. Instead of class I'm just going to give here id, and here I'll be writing anchor class. I'll just copy this one, and this stylings whatever I'm giving here, I'm just giving only for that id, only for that particular id I'm just going to give. So here I'm just going to write that id. I'll come here, I'll refresh this one, I'll just close this tabs. Okay, now you can see this is being changed to pink color. Okay, because here this link I have already visited this link, so it is being changed to pink color. But this link, this second link will not give me any indication that whether I visited this link or not. So here again if I refresh this one, again I will be having the same output. Okay, this is how we are going to give, and you will be having the same order. First you will be giving the link and then you will be giving the visited. Okay, this is how it is going to work. First we have to give link, then we have to give visited, then again let me just copy this ID. Then third we just have to give the hover, and here I'm just going to give hover, and inside this I'm just going to give background color. Background color, let me just write here coral. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see whenever I hover on this, I'm getting this background color. As soon as I click on this, you can see here I'll be getting this output. And also you can see whenever I click on this, I'm getting this hover effect. Again I'll just click on this, you can see again new tab is opened, and here I'll be having this output. Okay, this is how it is going to work. We have seen about link. Link is nothing but the basic link whatever we are having. Visited is once I visit that anchor tag, I should be getting the output. Now here if I just give here, instead of this one, if I just remove all this, if I just remove all these things, all these IDs, if I just remove, and here if I just give here anchor tag, now both the anchor tags it is going to apply. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the second anchor tag is also visited, and here I am having this output. Okay, this is how it is going to work. Okay, next finally we are having this one active. Now here I'll be writing active. Whichever link is active, that will be active. Now for this I'm just going to give background color only. Let me just write here background color, and here I'll just give crimson. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now both the links are not active. When I click on this, you can see that background color. You can see the slight change in the background color whenever I clicked on that. As soon as I click on this, you can see that color will be changed. Okay, you saw that one, that color will be changed. Okay, this is how we are going to use pseudo class selectors. Okay, just to give indication to the user what they are doing. Okay, if they are aware of this CSS part, then they will get to know, okay, whenever I hover on this, I will be getting this color. Whenever the link is active, I will be getting this color. And whenever the link is visited, I will be getting this color. Okay, they will be having some basic knowledge if we give this one. Okay, so you should use anchor pseudo class, and you have to follow this order. First we will be having link, then only we will be giving this visited, then after that we will be having hover, after hover only we have to give this active. Okay, this order you have to follow whenever you are using this anchor pseudo class. Okay, then second we are having pseudo classes and HTML classes. Now let me just write here, and from here I'm just going to copy this pseudo class, pseudo classes and HTML classes. Now here, now instead of this anchor tag, let me just write here class. I'll just remove this ID, and here I'll be writing class. Okay, ID also you can give with the same name, you will not be having any problem. I'm just going to copy this class. Inside this anchor tag, I have given the class, so I can just write like this anchor tag dot class, and also I'm just going to give this hover effect. Okay, whatever hover effect I just want to give for that, I'm just going to write that one. I'll just write here hover effect, and hover effect, let me just give the font size. Font size I'm just going to increase to 19 pixel. Okay, you should not give any space here. I'm just going to remove that space. I'll refresh this one. Now whenever I click on this, you can see the font size is getting increased. Okay, now for better understanding, I'm just going to change the color as well. Color, let me just write here dark cyan. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see whenever I click on this, the color is getting changed, and also the font size is getting increased. Okay, this is how we are going to use pseudo classes and HTML classes. Whatever class we are having for this one, we can just write that one. Whatever class we want to give pseudo class, we can just pass that one. Okay, now for this anchor tag, I am not having any class. So whenever I hover on that anchor tag, I will not be having, okay, the basic stylings, whatever I have given there, that will be applied. Okay, but for this, whatever I have given inside that class, that will also be applied. This is how we are going to work with pseudo classes and HTML classes. Then finally we are having the first child pseudo classes. Now here I'm just going to write the third one, and here I'll be writing the first child pseudo classes. Now let's see the example of this first child pseudo classes. Now here I'm just going to write paragraph. I'm just going to select all the paragraphs. Now here we have to write this one, first child. Okay, here we will be having many options. As of now, I'm just going to take this first child. Now inside this, let me just give the background color. Background color, I'll be giving this dark green. I'll save this. I'll just come here. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now you can see here I'm having this output. Let me just decrease the size. Okay, now you can see here for this paragraph I am having, for this paragraph I am having, and finally for this footer I am having. Why is this happening? Okay, so let's just see here. Okay, as soon as I gave this one, let's see inside HTML. Okay, you can see inside this div container I am having this first paragraph. So that is been selected. Let me just write here 1, and here I will be writing 2, and here I will be writing 3. And also inside this I will be writing 1, 2 and 3. I'll save this. Let me just come here. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see for this first, okay, only the first paragraph is been selected inside this div container. And inside this section I'm having 3 paragraphs, and only the first paragraph is been selected. And finally inside this footer I'm having this paragraph, and inside footer I'm having only 1 paragraph. So that is been selected. Okay, this is how it is going to work. Inside sections or inside div containers, if I am having paragraphs, that will be selected, but only the first one will be selected if you are using this first child. Now suppose if I just write here, let me just come here. Now here inside this, now here I am just going to create one paragraph. Okay, instead of creating here, okay, let me just create new paragraph, and for this I am just going to give here lorem 30. And inside this paragraph I am just going to create some span tag, and inside this I am just going to copy this one, and here I will be pasting that. And also I am just going to copy this. Let me just copy this one, and here I will be pasting. I'll just copy this, and instead of this text I'm just going to paste that one. I'll just come here. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see I'm having this paragraph here. Now for this one I'll just come to style.css. Now here I'll be writing P, and here I'll just write here first child, and inside this I'm just going to select the paragraphs now. So here I'll be writing span, and only for paragraph I'm just going to change the color. I'm just going to give here orange. The color whatever I have given here, that is not been applied. So here I'm just going to copy this entire paragraph from here, and instead of that here I'm just going to paste that one. I'll save this, and again it is not going to work because that paragraph is present at the end. You can see here I'm having, and that styles whatever I have given here, that will not be applied. So I'm just going to copy this one, and instead of there, here I'm just going to paste that one. I'll refresh this. Now you can see only for span tag that color is been applied. Okay, for both the span tag that color is been applied, and here I have just given here first child paragraph. Okay, for paragraph I'm just selecting the first child, and inside that how many span tags I'm having, I'm just coloring that one. Now instead of this, if I just give like this, if I just write here P paragraph, and here I'm just going to write here span first child, and inside this I'm just going to give, I'll just copy this one, and here I'm going to paste, and here let me just write here blue. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Okay, now blue, let me just change the color here. I'll be writing here pink. I'll save this. I'll save this one. I'll refresh this. Now you can see that color is been changed to pink. Okay, only the first span child of that paragraph will be selected. Okay, this is how we are going to use first child pseudo classes. Don't get confused with this one. This is going to select only the first paragraph, only the first child, and this is going to select the first child, and inside that if I am having span tags, it is going to select all the span tags, and here it is going to select the paragraph, and inside that paragraph whatever span tag I am having, that only the first child of that one will be selected. Okay, this is how it is going to work. Okay, now fourth category is our pseudo element selector. Now here let me just write the comment. Pseudo element selector. Okay, now using this pseudo element selector, we can style individual letters. Okay, the first letter we can style, the first line we can style. Okay, specific individual element we can style. Now here let me just select this H1. Okay, because we are having only one H1. Now for this first letter I just want to change that one. Now so here what I am going to do is I am just going to select H1, and here I will be writing first letter. You can see here I am having options. I am just going to select first letter, and first I am just going to increase the font size. Font size I'll just give here 50 pixel. I'll save this. We can just select particular letters and we can give. You can see the font size has been increased for this one. Now instead of this, let me just write here 100. I'll save. I'll refresh this. Now you can see the font size has been increased for the first character, and also I can change the color. I can just give here pink. Let me just change the color to dark pink. Let me just give this color. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the color is been changed. Okay, we can change this first letter, and also now here inside this I'm just going to create one paragraph, and for this I'm just going to give here lorem 50. I'll save. Okay, now you can see here I'm having this paragraph. Now only first line I just want to style. So for that also I can just do that one, and also for this paragraph I'm just going to give the class. I'll just write here element. Okay, because we are selecting the element here, I'll just copy this, and here I'm just going to paste that class. Now here I just want to change the first line. Now inside this I'm just going to change the color. I'll just give this this color, and also I'm just going to change the font size. Let me just write here larger. I'll save, I'll refresh. Now you can see only the first line, whatever I have given here, that whatever stylings I have given here, that is been applied only for the first line. And also if I just want to give the styling for the first letter, let me just copy this, and here I'm going to paste, and instead of first line I'll be writing here first letter. Okay, for same paragraph I'm just styling, and for this I'll just change the color. Let me just give this purple, and font size I'll be giving here 30 pixel. I'll save this, I'll refresh. Now you can see, okay, if you are reading stories, okay, this kind of effects they are going to give. Okay, the first character will be larger in size, and then we will be having all the content. If you want to change the first line of the stylings, you can do that one. Okay, it completely depends on your choice. Don't get confused with all these properties. Once you practice this one, you don't have to by heart. You will remember whenever you do. Okay, now these are called as pseudo element selectors. And also, okay, now you can see here, whenever I select on this particular text, you can see I'm getting this background color as dark blue, and the text is getting changed to white color. I can also change this one. Okay, if you just want to change the default styling, we can just write here selection. Okay, you just have to write the selection. You don't have to select any element, any class, you don't have to give. Now inside this I'm just going to give background color. Let me just write here orange, and also color I'm going to change to black. Okay, let me just write here blue only. I'll save this, I'll refresh this one. Now whenever I select, you can see the background color is orange and the text has been changed to blue color. Okay, this is how it is going to work, and also I can change to any color. Let me just write here black. I'll save, I'll refresh. Now whenever I select, you can see the text is getting changed to black color. Okay, this is how we are going to use selection. Now we are having one more pseudo element. So for that, let me just create here UL, and inside this I'm just going to add li into 3, and inside each li, first will be home, then second will be about, and third will be contact. I'll save this, I'll just refresh this one. Okay, now you can see here I'm having home, about and contact. Whenever I select, all the stylings whatever I have given here, that is been applied. Now here let me just give here marker. Okay, now what it is going to do, let me just tell you. Now for this I'm just going to give the color as pink, dark pink, and from here I'm just going to change the color. I'll save this, I'll just come here, I'll refresh this one. Now you can see that whatever default styling, that circles I was having, that has been changed to red color. Okay, if you just want to change this default number colors, you can use this marker and that color will be changed. Okay, this is how we are going to use marker pseudo element selector. Then we are having after and before. Now here I am having H1. Now first let me just write here before, and inside this I just have to write here content, and inside this I'm just going to pass here hello. I'll save this. Okay, now here only I'm having CSS tutorial. As soon as I refresh this one, you can see hello is been added before this one, and the first letter, before it was C, now first letter is H. Okay, this is how we are going to add. If I just inspect this one, okay, if you want to add some emojis or some stylings, if you want to add which is different from that, you can use pseudo element before and after. Okay, pseudo element before and after, we are going to understand this in more better way, because we are going to use this much in our projects. Now you can see inside H1, here I am having this before. Inside this before, whenever I click, this hello will be displayed to me. Okay, this is how we are going to add. Now in the same way, here let me just give one space as well. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see I got one space. Now in the same way, I'm just going to add after. I'll copy this, and here I'm just going to paste, and here I'll just write after. And after I'm going to write hello CSS, how are you? I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see here I'm having hello CSS, how are you? And also I'm just going to give one space here. Okay, this is how we are going to change. Now inside H1 I'm having before also, and I'm having after also. Now whenever I hover on this, this content will be displayed, and in between whatever I have given inside HTML, that will be displayed. Okay, this is how we are going to play with pseudo classes. We are having first line. If you just want to style the first line, we are having first letter to change the first letter stylings. We are having selection to change the default background color. Okay, whenever we select, whenever we are having list items to change the default settings of the stylings, we can use this. Then we are having h1 before and h1 after. Okay, this content will be added. Okay, you don't have to worry about this after and before. This we are going to study in more depth, because before and after we are going to use a lot in each and every projects. Okay, then finally we are having last category inside selector, that is nothing but attribute selector. And inside that, if you are having some attributes inside HTML, if you want to style that specific attribute, we can use that one. So here what I am going to do is, first I am just going to come here. Now below this UL list, I am just going to create one form, and inside this form I am just going to create two input fields, input into 2. And for this type I have given as text, and here I am just going to give the type as email. I'll save this, and also I'm just going to add some break here. I'll save. I'll refresh this. Now you can see here I'm having this two input fields, first input field and second input field. Let me just add another break. Okay, these are the two input fields I have given. Now if I just want to select individual input field, and if I just want to style that one, instead of giving IDs or instead of giving classes, you can use this particular attributes. Okay, whatever attributes we are having, using this attributes you can style that one. Now here I'm just going to select my input field, and here I'll just give the type attribute. Inside this I'm just going to pass a text. Okay, if my input field is having type is equal to text, only then I just want to change the background color. Let me just give this color. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the background color has been changed only for that input field. Okay, this is how we are going to use attributes. We are having multiple attributes. Okay, now if you are having anchor tag, and inside anchor tag, let me just come down. Now for inside anchor tag I have just given this one. Okay, let me just copy this, and here I'm just going to paste, and inside anchor tag I have just given target is equal to blank. Now for this let me just give font family. Here I'm just going to give this one. I'll save this. Okay, these are my anchor tag. This is the first one and this is the second one. I'll refresh this. Okay, you can see the font family is being changed. Let me just increase the size and show you. You can see that font family is being changed. Okay, this is how we are going to work with this one. And also let me just change the color and show you. Color I'll just give here this one, coral. I'll save. I'll refresh. You can see the color is being changed. Okay, it is going to select all the anchor tags because here I have given the anchor tag. Okay, this is all you have to know about attribute selector. We are not going to use this much, but you should be aware of this, that this also exists. So we are having another type of selectors, like we are having universal selector. We are having the star. Whenever we give this one and whenever we give some stylings, it is going to apply to all. Okay, to entire website it is going to apply. Now for this, if I just give the background color as black, let me just, instead of black, let me just give this one crimson. I'll refresh this. You can see it has been applied to the whole website. Okay, it is going to apply to the whole website. Okay, this is how it is going to work. If you just want to give some common stylings which will be applied to entire website, you can just give inside this universal selector. And also inside this universal selector, you can just write, you can just write here after. Before this universal selector also I want to apply all the stylings, and also you can write before. Okay, universal selector separated by comma, you can just write this before. Okay, based on your requirement, you can either write only star or you can write like this. Okay, all these three things you can write, and whatever stylings you want to give, you can give that one. And also if I just give the font family, let me just give this one, impact. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. You can see the entire website font family will be changed. And basically it is always suggested that whenever we are using this universal selector, we are going to write always on top. Okay, always on top we will be writing. I'll come here, I'll refresh this. Now you can see that whatever font family I have given there, that will be applied to the entire website. And if we just want to change, we can just come to individual things and we can change that one. You can see whatever colors I have given here, that will be applied here. Okay, all the colors will be applied, and whatever stylings we give inside this universal selector, that will be common to each and everything. But we can change these common things by overriding that one. This is all about universal selector. We have seen element selector by selecting all the elements. ID selector we have seen by selecting only the ID. We have seen class selectors. By selecting the class we can give all the stylings. This is the universal selector. And also we are having group selector. Now here let me just come here. Now okay, before here I'm just going to write H2. Here I'll be writing H2. Then below this I'm just going to write here H3, H4, H5. Here and here I'm just going to write H3. Then here I'll be writing H4 and here I'll be writing H5. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Let me just come down. Okay, now you can see here I'm having H2, H3, H4 and H5. Now suppose for all these 4 things I have to give the same value. Now instead of writing like this, let me just come down. Okay, these are group selectors, whatever I'm doing now. I'll just write here H2. Now for this I'm just going to give the color. Let me just give this dark blue. Again here I'm writing H3 and for H3 also I'm just going to give the same color. I'll copy, I'll paste. Again for H4 I'm just going to do the same thing. And again finally for H5 I'm just going to do the same thing. I'll save this. I'll refresh this one. Now you can see the color has been changed. Instead of writing like this, okay, instead of writing separately, because we are having same values for each and everything. Instead of writing like this, I'll just remove this one. We can just separate by comma here. H3, H4 and H5. Okay, either you can use classes or if you just have 2-3 properties, you can just group these selectors. I'll refresh. You can see again I'm having the same output. Now if I just change it to, let me just change it to green. I'll save. I'll refresh. You can see the color will be changed. Instead of writing that one in separate lines, you can just write like this. Okay, this is also going to work. Okay, this is all about CSS selectors. We are having simple selector. Okay, we will be selecting elements, paragraphs, IDs. We are having combinator selectors and inside that we have seen descendant selector, child selector, adjacent sibling selector and general sibling selector. Then we are having pseudo class selector. Inside that we are having some types, anchor pseudo classes. Whenever we visit the link, whenever we hover the link, how it is going to work, we can give all those stylings. Then we are having pseudo classes and HTML classes. If we are having HTML class, then using this pseudo class, how to link that one. Okay, we are having all these things. Then we are having pseudo child, okay, first child class. Based on our requirement, we can select specific first child and we can display that one. Then we are having pseudo element selector and inside this element, okay, you can see the basic difference. For pseudo classes, okay, for pseudo class selector, we are having only 1 colon here. Only 1 colon we are having. But for pseudo element classes, we are having 2 colons. Okay, just to differentiate this one, this has been added. Before that in CSS1 or CSS2, it was only 1 colon for CSS element and for CSS class. But in CSS3, we will be using 2 colons for CSS element selector so that we can differentiate from classes and elements. We are having first line to design the first line, first letter to design the first letter, and also we are having this selection to change the default background color and color. Then we are having this marker, okay, if you are having list items to change the specific stylings of the list. Then we are having this pseudo element before and after. Then finally we are having this attribute selector. If you are having some attributes inside HTML, then if you just want to style that one, you can select that particular attribute and you can style that one. Then finally we have seen about this group selector and also we have seen about this universal selector. Okay, these are the basic selectors you have to know to get started with CSS. Okay, if you know these basic selectors, you will be having clear idea on what element we have to select, how we have to select, using which selector we have to select. Okay, this is all about CSS selectors. We have seen almost everything about CSS selectors. In our next videos, we are going to learn about colors, background colors, typography, everything we are going to see one by one. That's all for today's tutorial. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.